Greetings viewers, I am EricTheCarGuy, and I've never done an unboxing video before, but this is a special occasion. This is an occasion that me against the internet finally comes to an agreement, and we are now in complete alignment because the Fairmont is getting fuel injection. So I figured, why not mark this occasion, this momentous occasion, with an unboxing video of my new fuel injection system, the Holley Super Sniper EFI, shall we? And I got my Holley Super Sniper EFI from Summit Racing. The box. It has all these things on the outside that sell you on the whole premise that this is better than a carburetor. Put an end to cold start issues, hesitation, vapor lock, and flooding. Integrated ECU for less wiring and ease of installation. Integrated fuel pressure regulator. Simplifies plumbing installation. No need to mount an external fuel pressure regulator. Available in shadow black and shiny finishes. Set up and monitor your EFI with included full color handheld. More color than your eyes can register. Better than a carburetor. So awesome. Integrated ECU, all of these things. Let's open it up because that's why you're watching this video, right? Okay, what do you get with the Holley Super Sniper EFI? See, I don't even know because I haven't cut the seal yet, which I'm doing right now. There it is. It's opening. Let's see what's inside. That's very, well, anticlimactic. Remove the packaging and what do you get? I went for the shiny version and this is what I got. We have a harness marked B. We have an instruction manual, gaskets for both top and bottom. I just noticed inside the instruction bag that there's this tiny little screw, so be really careful when you open this up not to lose that. Instructions. And the prize itself, the crown jewel, what's inside the box. And there's also another box inside of the box. So this is like inception packing here. And we'll take that out and find out what's inside that. But that concludes everything that was inside the box. Have I mentioned that I got my Holley Super Sniper EFI from Summit Racing? Link in the description. All right, let's find out what's in the box. Ooh, wires. We have a small wiring harness here. Here is another wiring harness. Ooh, this looks like our full color display. Ooh, check that out. Ooh, it's got a stylus and everything. And it's just sitting there inside where we can't see it. Ah, there it is. There we go. Ooh, an SD card that actually is for micro SD. Interesting. So micro SD card goes in the side here. I imagine so that's going to operate. Stylus, a few pads here, and it looks like, I don't know if this would be for cleaning the screen, an alcohol pad, whatever, but this is going to be an interface, and it's nice and compact, honestly. I hope I'm able to see it when it's fired up, but obviously that will plug in somewhere, and a handy dandy holder, which I have my own ideas of how I'm going to mount this in the vehicle. Oh, and little pads so it doesn't rattle around. Huh, that's nice. Those little pads here in the back. Also in our secondary box, we have what appears to be a wideband O2 sensor. Here is a bung, so you don't have to do anything but drill a hole in your exhaust. You won't have to do any welding. What this does is it's the O2 sensor would screw into this. There's a gasket underneath it. First you would drill a hole in your exhaust, and then you would clamp it into place with the supplied clamps. I've already welded a bung onto my exhaust, so this won't be necessary, but you get this, and there's no need for welding in your O2 sensor. Looks like we also have a coolant temperature sensor. There's its part number. And this will need to obviously go into the coolant someplace. I'm going to put mine on the intake right on top of the crossover. Lastly, in our secondary box, almost lastly, there's two things. We've got two more wiring harnesses. There's this wiring harness, and then there is another smaller wiring harness with a USB connection. Interesting. All of that was in the secondary box. This is what we all came here to see, right? This is the business. There it is. A bunch of wires and a piece of metal. That's what you get. Money well spent, right? Now, I'm a little disappointed. This fuel line does not match the fuel line on the outside of the box. Not saying it's not going to work, but on the outside of the box, this was like a steel braided line, which honestly has a better look. I've got a carburetor hat, so you're going to see this. I'm a little disappointed that that is not what it was on the outside of the box. Shame on you, Holley. Looks like this is the idle air control valve sticking out here. This is the fuel pressure regulator. I believe you can run fuel to this both from here. These look like inlet and outlet. Some vacuum ports on the bottom. I know that's intake, and this is also intake. I'm assuming this vacuum port is for ported source. There's some other plugs here in the back, maybe for additional hookups. Also, I believe you can run fuel in this way. Here's an illustration of what you can do, and it looks like you have to go same side. So you can change the inlet and outlet on either side of this, but it looks like you have to do it one side or the other. So if you're on this side, both need to be on this side, and if you're on this side, both need to be on this side. So in other words, I don't think you can put one on this side and one on this side. Behind this, according to the box, is your ECU. This is the throttle position sensor, looks like. So it's nice that everything is all self-contained. That makes it easy. Let's watch the throttle plates open, shall we? Cool, right? There's two versions of this. One has 4 fuel injectors, which is good up to 650 horsepower. And there's one with 8 injectors that's good to 1200 horsepower, maybe a little above that. But this, for my application, which made 575 horse on the dyno, this 650 should be just fine. Yeah, there's the passage for the idle. I'm certain of that. Idle air control valve. You can kind of see the end of it peeking down in there. There. Here's the throttle linkage. Up here is, I believe, where you'd connect the throttle. I don't know if you put different rods in here and it looks like this opens all at once. I don't know if you make it progressive. I don't think that really matters with fuel injection. These, I believe, would be your transmission hookups. I think that would be outlined in the instructions, but I believe this is where you'd connect your throttle cable. All right, viewers, I have another note for you. I have mocked up the Holley Super Sniper EFI in place of what used to be my Demon blow-through carburetor, which is pretty much a Holley double pumper. And with the Holley, the Demon, I used to run this throttle cable bracket setup, but when I went to mock it up on here, you can clearly see it's never going to work. It interferes with the linkage here, and it's just not possible. So I did a little searching online, and I found that Locar makes a throttle cable bracket kit for the Sniper EFI that's specifically for it. It's about 75 bucks. It just hooks in back here, and that's before shipping, by the way. And I will link that down in the description so you can check that out if you're going to go down that road. Personally, I'm considering, since that isn't even available to me until mid-month, a couple of weeks, and I don't have that kind of time of making my own bracket back here. But you should know that if you're going to go with a Holley Super Sniper EFI, you're going to have to sort something out as far as throttle cable attachment and possibly even a new throttle cable. Well, I don't want to leave you with just problems. Here's a solution to one of those problems. Instead of spending that 75 bucks with Locar, I made some brackets that work really well. In fact, all the throttle linkage clears, so I don't have to worry about that. And like I said, I just cut these 2-inch pieces of angle stock. Then I ran these nuts and bolts through them so that everything could connect together. Now, looking down inside the bore here, just behind the ECU, I'm going to say that that's probably the map sensor. And this is capable of handling forced induction. It's one of the reasons I went for this. Further down, what you may see is little tiny holes around the base just before the throttle plate. I believe that's where the fuel is going to come out. I think it's interesting that they're distributing it that way. Better atomization, I suppose. But there are 4 injectors in this model, and I believe each one of these bores has an injector in it. And perhaps the way it is discharged is through each one of those small little ports. Flipping it over, I can get a better look at these tiny holes that I believe the fuel is going to be discharged from. Hang on a minute before I let you go. I spent some time reading the instructions. Actually, this is more like a quick start guide. There's a PDF to the instructions online that I will link down in the description for you to look through so you can learn more about this. But one of the things I found inside here is that in my application, which is a turbo, which is forced induction, you cannot use the fuel pressure regulator that's in the unit. You have to use an external fuel pressure regulator that is boost regulated, and I'll show you what I'm running on mine. This is my boost regulated fuel pressure regulator from Aeromotive. I already have it on here with my carburetor, and I can switch it over to fuel injection, which is not that difficult. As far as where this line goes, you want to go above the throttle plate. I have mine hooked in here. The only thing that the fuel pressure regulator needs to do is raise fuel pressure under boost, so this will register boost and you won't have to worry about it registering vacuum and changing anything internally. But wait, there's more. If you're doing forced induction and you have a carburetor hat like I have here, guess what? Yep, that's right. It's not going to fit it down there all the way. And reason for that is this protrusion, which I've modified in another video, which I'll link in the description, comes down too far. And what happens is it's coming into contact here. So I'm going to have to machine away the inside of this and get rid of this top edge. So you won't have to do all this in here like I did to make it fit the carburetor. I just would open up this area in here. Well, I'm just going to cut off this whole thing, but just open up this area in here so you can accommodate that. But wait, there's more. The threaded rod that holds on an air cleaner, in my case my carburetor hat, it's too big for this, so I'll have to get another one. I don't really want to get another one because this fits pretty snug inside my carburetor hat now. But overall, what I'm seeing here is the installation of fuel injection in place of a carburetor is not as easy as advertised, at least in my opinion. Everything inside the box of a Holley Super Sniper EFI system. As I said, this is the 650 horsepower version. There is a 1200 plus horsepower version out there also. It comes in black as well as shiny. I got mine from Summit Racing. That'll be linked down in the description, and along with other information about this. My first unboxing video. Let me know how I did. If you have automotive questions, I ask that you head to EricTheCarGuy.com, linked in the description along with everything else. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and do all those things that help me make a living. Super appreciate that. Be safe, have fun, stay dirty. I'll see you next time. Yes, I will make a video of the installation. Don't worry.